Well, I've got Lindsay with me. What men's shed are you a part of and how did you become a part of that men's shed?
I'm at the Kingston Men's Shed. I joined about 5 or 6 years ago, probably looking for a hobby after having retired, and had a choice of a couple of sheds and chose the Kingston Shed mainly because it was a smaller shed and they seemed to have more of a focus on wood rather than on metal, which interested me. And I became vice president there. Then I was asked to go on the TMSA committee 3 years ago, and I did that. Most of the things I've done since retirement have been because when there's a job to be done, everyone else took a step back and I was left standing at the front rather than actually stepping forward myself, because someone has to do these things. Oh, I love it. I really enjoy it.
Yeah.
The men's shed. And I like the fact that it's actually called a movement, because it is a movement. I mean, a lot of people actually believe in it. It's not just a thing that you go to and, make toys for the grandkids or something like that. It's a lot more than that. In fact, our shed, and most of the people at our shed see the morning tea time when we always stop and have a chat as part of one of the most important parts of the day, rather than actually making things. And that's the ethos of the whole shed, really, is that we're there, have a chat. If someone's making something or someone's quiet, just go up and how you going, sort of thing, rather than actually making anything. We've got a lot of members who go there on a regular basis that hardly ever make anything. They don't go there to make things, they go there to talk to other blokes.
Obviously, we know that the men's shed helps men's health. How have you seen that happen?
Oh, lots of times. I mean, there's a lot of people there who, when they first joined, were very quiet, sort of held back a bit, and they've gradually come out of their shell. There was a guy there only very recently. He'd been coming for about 2 or 3 years, or maybe even longer. He'd come in once a week for morning tea, half an hour, and go home. We've now got him doing wood turning. And it's that sort of thing, I think. He's a lonely guy. He used to live with his mother. His mother died earlier this year. So they're the sort of people that can really benefit by that sort of thing, I think.
I know with my father, he was so reluctant to ever go to the doctor.
Yeah.
He was so, and I think there must be so many different aspects where being in a shed with men, it normalises.
It does.
You don't feel so alone.
No, yeah, that's right. And you can talk about those sort of things. I mean, there've been chats about, bowel cancer, tests for bowel cancer, all that sort of stuff. And the general consensus is, we don't know as much as what doctors know. If doctors are suggesting we should be doing that, why wouldn't you do it?
Just on COVID, it must have been difficult throughout COVID. And how did you keep the men's shed alive, or that camaraderie?
Yeah, we really struggled with that. We had one guy who organised an occasional barbecue outside of the men's shed, and it had no relationship with the men's shed. Men's shed guys were invited to it, but it was never a men's shed function, because I don't think we were allowed to actually do that as a men's shed. And we had some really strong restrictions, You had to advise the day before whether you want to come the next day, and there's a limit on how many could go. We were disinfecting all the machinery. As soon as someone touched something, someone would be coming behind to spray it, and all that sort of stuff. It was a nightmare. And looking back, I mean, it's only about 3 years ago all this stuff happened. And to be quite honest, I don't think that people would allow that to happen again.
It's a horrible idea to think of anyone being alone and isolated, isn't it?
Yeah.
What would you say to anyone that's listening to this, that they want to maybe try out the men's shed, but there's that fear of the unknown, or that?
Yeah, I'd suggest go with a mate. Go with someone else. That's what I did. There's 2 of us went and had a look. It just makes things so much easier. Unless you know someone there. If you know someone that's there, then that's obviously a lot easier. But to go cold would be difficult. But I think if you don't know anyone in a shed, you're better off to go with a mate. Maybe the mate has no interest in joining, but just to go with someone else, I think it'll make it a lot easier.